vision behind Romsey Mill was to create a safe place, an open place, a welcoming place where the community could belong. We work across Cambridge City and beyond into other parts of Cambridgeshire, and really focusing the work to those areas with the highest levels of deprivation. What we're wanting to do is to create opportunities with children, young people and families so that they fully belong and positively contribute to their communities and so they thrive.
Romsey Mill's social inclusion programme works with 13 to 25-year-olds across Cambridge and Cambridgeshire. We work with young people who face a whole range of disadvantages and may be at risk of exclusion from school or have been excluded from school. They may be not in education, employment or training. And really we try to engage them and find out what they're into, what their interests are, and then develop projects off that. So we're quite an organic programme that develops around young people's interests.
We like to pack our courses with accreditation because it just gets young people on board and they realise it can be successful. So this is something called the Junior Football Organiser Award, which is an FA award, and in the 6 weeks that they do it they'll get some accreditation. So this group have already done food hygiene, they've done first aid, they've done something called the Arts Award, and now they're doing a football award.
Touch work, basically that's the youth workers going out onto the streets, meeting young people where they may be hanging out and just getting to know them, building relationships with them, finding out what's going on for them in their lives, and over a period of time just finding out what their interests are, and from that then developing project-based work. A major thing that we do is supporting them with trying to find work, and so we'll support them in CV writing and job application and that sort of thing.
We used to both DJ all the time, and we used to like throw parties over on the rec over there, because we never had no events to do or anything like that. One time, 2 workers from me, and they basically were saying, yeah, you should come to Romsey Mill, we have decks there as well, and you know what I mean, you're about to do it there, no troubles and stuff. So we started coming here like on a regular basis, and that was about 8 years ago. Like as we get older, we started complaining more, like we need a booth and a studio and rare. And then so the Romsey Mill showed us how we could do that by showing us how to get funding and stuff like that. And then Romsey Mill basically said, you should start teaching people how to do the music. And it's just progressed from there really, giving me more and more hours basically. Starting from next week, I'll be here pretty much 5 days a week. The youth work here is all about long-term relational work. It's not short-term intervention. It's about journeying with young people over an extended period of time. So there's young people that we will work with or have worked with for over 5 years. What we're aiming for is that young people take an active role in their community, where they have some pride in their community, where they're involved in shaping their community.
The Young Parent Programme is the lead response to teenage parents in the Cambridgeshire area. We take a holistic approach to supporting them, building relationships and a relationship of trust. We start with home visiting, helping them with benefits, housing, issues with parenting, relationships. We also encourage them to attend an 8-week antenatal programme that's supported by health visitors and midwives. And once they've completed that programme, we encourage them to come to postnatal groups, which are run here at Romsey Mill, and we also have a number of them in local children's centres in the Cambridgeshire area. We have a progressions worker that particularly focuses on progression, and that would be looking at other groups that they could maybe join in the local community, but also she focuses on looking at helping them move on to college. And we also run courses to offer them help and support with things like English, drama. We've also run a textiles programme. If they're interested in going back to work as well, we can help and support them with that and help them look at opportunities that are out there.
Aspire works with young people who are on the autistic spectrum, who are between the ages of about 9 and 18, and who are also in mainstream schools.
They're actually quite nice people, and because they wouldn't have really strict people looking after us.
He's not very good, is he?
We run groups and activities, and I also support some young people on a one-to-one basis if they're having a particularly hard time. I also go into schools and run groups there. We're also developing some parent support as well, because we realise that it's parents that often need the support as much as the young people.
And because of recession, We've now had 5-6 years where there's been very, very low employment opportunities. And I'm afraid when that's in a process of people being made redundant, it's extremely difficult to take youngsters on at the bottom.
Of course.
And so there's been a very big a void of training happening over the last more than 5 years. We have, as a company, kept on apprentices, but in much lower numbers than we've had previously. But the next 10 years, well, next 5 years, or in reality, probably the next 2 or 3 years, there is going to be a massive need for skilled labour.
And you've had a bit of a look at the outline for the bid that we've put together for the Local Enterprise Partnership. Is that something that you think you'd be able to work with us on in an advisory capacity? Or
an advisory capacity, no problem with that at all. It totally meets our desire to be involved in the local community and to respond to the needs. And we see some of those needs at a level perhaps slightly lower than we would normally expect youngsters to be coming into on our apprenticeship scheme. But we also see that there's a need to be able to help those youngsters get on the career ladder.
Yeah.
So we do have some opportunities within our own organisation, but we'd be very willing to help from our experience of work experience to develop that with other companies and meet that need.
I'm very excited about our status update proposal that we're putting forward to the LEP. Excited because this is a strategic development for the organisation that enables us to bring together strands of our work which we've already shown to be very effective, engaging vulnerable and at-risk groups of young people and addressing their needs, the needs of those young people who are furthest from the job market, but also engaging with employers and looking at the needs that they have to recruit and to appoint staff, and being able to bring these two things together, these scenarios, these situations together, and to be able to broker, support tailored opportunities for young people who are at risk to move into the job market.
You never feel judged at all, never feel judged. Everyone's just here to try and help you, and it's quite nice to have that. I mean, you can either come in, you can pick up the phone, and they'll always be here for you. I wouldn't know what I'd do without this place.